I just talked about this yesterday. I talked about how you can be a follower by being a rebel. Because if you have to rebel against everything, then you're still being externally influenced. Just as much as if you want to fit in with everything. It's like either way, you're basing your decision off of what everyone else is doing. So it's like all I have to do to control you is tell you not to do it. It's like well, you're still basing your decision off of what everyone else is doing. Versus if you're just doing what you want to do all the time, sometimes it coincidentally lines up with everyone else. And sometimes it coincidentally is the opposite of everyone else. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Versus if you're like, I have to always be the opposite of everyone else, it's like, well, you're still not being yourself. You're just being, you're looking at what everyone else is doing and then you're going, okay, I go that way now. And it's like, do you want to go that way? Or are you just like forced to go that way by like your need to do the opposite?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're being like a canned sort of like.
But you'll see people doing
anti-version.
things they don't want to do just to rebel.
Sure.
And you're like, I don't think you really want to do that. You know, I don't know. I see kids,
high school kids, right?
High school
it's a very
kids for
immature
sure.
trait.
Oh, for sure. But I see high school kids for sure. They're like, I'll show my parents. I'm going to fail every class and specifically do it on purpose. And I'm like, do you want to fail every class? Or are you just like trying to prove a point? You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're like, I'm like, because I mean, it doesn't, because they're interested in the topic. You know what I mean? I'm like, it doesn't seem like you want to fail. It seems like you're trying to fail like for a reason, which means you're not doing what you want. You're being externally influenced and you're still just like, you're just as controlled as someone trying to fit in.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Sure.
I'm like, just ignore that whole group and just do your thing. Sometimes you'll fall in, sometimes you'll be off over here. Like, it'll just all be a coincidence how it lands if you're just doing what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, that's my little rant.
Yeah, no, I think there's some wisdom there. I think
I had a friend who was like just a rebel to the core, and I watched him do that over the course of like the 10 years after high school, like just consistently be forced to do things he didn't want to do just to prove to people that they weren't controlling him. And it was like the most ironic thing I've witnessed. It was just the most ridiculous irony of like his need to prove people weren't controlling him by forcing himself to do the opposite of what they wanted. And I'm like, dude, like, you are so controlled.